Good evening and salutations, my B&B fans. You know, the problem with the Deacon scene with the doctor is that for the majority of the scene, all he's doing is freaking the F out, right? And he's doing it in a way where he's not even being coherent enough to sit there and ask basic questions. He's like, his eyes is playing tricks on him, and it almost looks at one point he tries to grab the body or something. I'm like, bro, what are you doing? And he grabs the morticianer, I think that's what they call, right? And he grabs him. He was all like, I need answers. I need answers. You need to start letting this man go. Okay, Mike Barnes, you need to sit there and let this man go. What's the matter with you? But he's not really asking any questions until towards like the 23rd mark. And he's like, when you dress these bodies up, you do makeup and comb their hair and stuff like that. Do you add appendages and toes and stuff like that? I'm like, and I get it. This is like a very freaked out version. Not, they had to sit there and play it this way just to make the time stretch out. Cause I'm like, bro, just ask the question that you want to ask. You're freaking out to the point where you're freaking this guy out, and he's probably trying to do everything he can to make sure he get the hell away from you. And he pretty much asks, he's like, do you add appendages on there? He's like, no. And he answers the phone call. He's still freaking out, and he's like, my mom must be playing tricks on me. He's like, who's that? Who was that you just put in the incinerator? Now, people have told me that it's this look-alike named Sugar. Now, maybe during that whole struggle, um, when fake Sheila at this point came over to Steffi's and they were trying to pull something out. I'm not gonna lie, I have no idea how this is gonna make sense. I'm trying to guess or whatever, but none of this is making any sense, and I'm pretty sure by the end, when Brad Bell's finished writing it, it's still not going to make sense. Now Baker comes over, but before Baker comes over, Ridge is asking Steffi, how does he feel about Finn going to the memorial, and are you okay with that or anything like that? I'm just like, she doesn't need to be okay with it. Like, regardless if she's okay with it or not, he's a grown ass man. He doesn't sit there and answer to her. Like, they can talk about it, but at the end of the day, if he wants to go to the memorial, he's going to go to the memorial. You act like she. Uh, like, I know that you're a little girl and you want the best for her and everything like that, but she doesn't run this relationship. It's a partnership. So when he's asking, like, "Are you okay with it?" It's like, what was you expecting to answer? Her to sit there and say no, snap her fingers, and then to just obeys? Like, I don't get that. And she does sit there and say she's not okay with it, but she's trying to be supportive. That's how that works. She doesn't need her father if they're trying to come in like, oh, I can't believe he's not he's not practically doing what you say. Like, does he not understand how much this makes you angry? Like, you act like this man is not supposed to have feelings. Um. Anyway, Baker comes in and pretty much tells Steffi that the charges, just not going to be any charges. But he does sit there and ask like a simple question, like, what happened? He asked once again, what happened during that night? And Bridge is like, no, I don't want you sitting there upsetting her. I was like, if you don't shut your ass up, like, bro, he's asking basic questions. If you don't like it, get your ass a lawyer. If not, shut the F up. You just kind of annoyed me a little bit. Um, anyway, he was like, listen, self defense, and they're not going to be pressing any charges. You're a free woman. And it pretty much just kind of ends then and there. And, Ridge is like, well, it's finally over. We can breathe and stuff like that. Little do you know, she was out there. She's out there. She's plotting, planning. I know what's gonna wind up happening next. I heard Diane is supposed to sit there and come to the show. Hopefully so, because that'd be a new addition. One, there'll be a new character and a new villain if they make her a villain. I mean, if you're gonna bring back Sheila, which the way that you killed her off, you cannot just kill Sheila off like that. Okay, I haven't been watching the show that long, but I know Sheila Carter is a big deal. That's not something you could just you know take out like that. So if they are gonna bring her back, which clearly at this point they are, at least bring her daughter in there so she could sit there and cause some havoc. That'd be interesting. Um, Ben pretty much tries to make try to have peace between Steffi and Hope by saying don't be like your moms. You know, you can be better than the rivalries that you and your mom had over the years. Be better. A lot of that stuff is because of Liam. He ain't worth it. The point is be better. And and it sucks because he's in this very messed up position. So it's like that's his wife, and he says, listen, I am gonna rock my wife, but you're my friend also, and I want y'all to sit there and try to smooth things over. Like Thomas is gone, new possibilities are out there. And of course, she talks about how she wasn't ready to marry and blah 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 blah. And there's a point again when Finn was like, "Was you ever going to possibly marry him?" She was like, "Oh, I don't know." So I'm like, well, what did you want him to do? Sit there and wait forever until maybe you decide to sit there and settle down with him and commit to him? You know? And I get it from both angles because she just got out of a marriage and everything like that. But, my whole thing was like, if she didn't want that marriage and she knew that he did, she should have stopped. This is my whole other thing. This is my problem with this. Because yes, I understand. She just got out of a marriage. She doesn't want to sit there and be thrown back into another one. She doesn't want to sit there and put herself to that on an emotional level. But if that's the case, then why mess with this guy? After he proposed to you the first time, you shouldn't have wore it around your neck. You should have said no, and that would have been it. Be like, you know what, this isn't going to work out. But this is my problem with Hope because she made it about her. She didn't want to give that up. She could have chose to go with any other man. She could have chose to go with Carter. She could have gave Carter a story. But no, this is about her being a succubus. Oh, give me compliments. Give me love in the afternoon. Gimme, 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 gimme. What are you gonna get? No, I'm not ready yet. That's what he wanted, but she cared more about what she wanted. So yeah, and she talks about that, missing Douglas and everything like that. But she got Beth, so it's not. I mean, granted, that's always going to be like a son to her. Like she's going to love him like a mother, regardless if they are biologically connected or not. But like she said, right now she's going to focus on her daughter and probably her failing line. Because let's be honest, it was Thomas that actually made that line. Um, Now, yeah, you have Zende, but you had Zende before. You had Zende and Eric, and you can sit there and save that line. So y'all better, hope better pray that RJ is this mystical talent when it comes towards designing, because if not, um, the stuff you want to sit there and close that line, and to be honest, she ain't gonna be too broken up about it. I mean, hell, she was ready to sit there and close that line the last time. You think she gonna have a problem closing that line now? Nope. Let's be real. Nope. So, anyway, I feel like that's pretty much about it. Can't think of anything else. But come to the live stream tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. We'll sit there and talk more about the show, my thoughts. I don't want this video to go too long, also. My thoughts and everything in between. 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, and I'll see you there.